Hello, and today on the Grant and Mike Show, as the past couple weeks have shown, we're back again with Edge of Tomorrow, which is the Tom Cruise movie that came out week before last.
Yeah.
We're kind of doing catch up a little bit, but I'm trying to get off 22 Jump Street mode, and I'm trying to jump back into a whole, completely different movie. So Edge of Tomorrow, I liked it.
I was thoroughly impressed.
I wouldn't say it's a great movie, but I was entertained. I didn't walk out thinking, oh, that was stupid. That was really bad. No, I was like, I had fun.
I'd say behind X-Men Days of Future Past, I'd say that's probably been one of my favorite movies so far.
Really?
Okay, not in terms of overall quality, but definitely was probably the most entertaining one of the bunch. As I said, behind X-Men.
X-Men has a fair amount of depth to it, but Edge of Tomorrow, there was some depth there, but not too much.
Yeah, but even then, it was also just a very damn entertaining film.
It was very entertaining. I walked out thinking, I'm glad I saw that.
Because, in all fairness, what else have we watched this year that's really been good outside of X-Men?
Godzilla. Yes, I did that just to piss you off.
Yeah.
Legend of Hercules.
Not for the right reasons, though. Wasn't that last year?
No, that was this year. That came out in January.
But, admittedly, also my memory's a little bit hazy of other stuff that's come out this year.
To be fair, I don't think I've taken you out to see many good movies. And the one you dragged me to see caused me some grief.
Yeah, two, I'd say. Well, shit. Well, and I think in both instances, they were both kind of meh for you, though.
Yeah.
It's just one of them had bad stuff happen beforehand.
I still am not like Cold in July if it was not for the fact that you single-handedly caused my tire to blow out. And I blame you completely. But... Really? Okay. So, yeah, Edge of Tomorrow, for those who don't know, unless you've been living in Iraq for the past few months or so, is the time travel. It's basically Groundhog Day meets Starship Trooper. And, there's another main call. Okay,
back to the movie.
Yeah, I can't make that reference to South Park without pissing off so many people. For valid reasons. But anyway. So, it's basically about a guy played by Tom Cruise. So I'm just going to call him Tom Cruise. Who plays a army sergeant or something like that.
No, he's a major.
He's a major, that's it. I'm going to turn the engine on so I can...
And basically... He's basically the White House correspondent of the military, to put it bluntly. He's a guy that basically goes out, makes all the press junkets, tries to, put a positive spin on everything.
Yeah, but don't you have to have military training to at least become a major or something like that, even if it's like a liaison or a media guy?
Yeah, but then again, this is also taking place sometime in the future, so maybe things change slightly.
America really drops the standards. And
yeah. But also, it's you don't necessarily need... Then again, what branch was he in? Was it Army, Marines, Air Force, Navy?
I don't know. I don't think they ever said.
I can't remember. I think they said, I just can't remember. But, I don't know. I'm not really too sure. But, yeah, generally you have to have some. But then again, just because you've had training doesn't necessarily mean you've had to have been in combat.
True, but at least you have to have some military discipline. At least I would think. Yeah. But Tom Cruise probably doesn't have any of that because he goes in there, basically tries to weasel himself out of combat, even though the sergeant played by Mad-Eye Moody tells him you have to go into battle, I'm staying in the front lines, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. He says, no, I'm not doing that, and tries to weasel himself out of it through blackmail, which turns out to be a big mistake, because then he gets arrested and thrown into battle anyway. Yeah,
basically, and this, thankfully, where they kind of smartened things up, was they gave away that he couldn't get out. Mm-hmm. Is that they used to basically saying he impersonated a superior. He impersonated being a major, or impersonated being an officer, and no matter what he says or does, he can't get out of that situation.
Yeah, very true. So basically, they just basically, you're doing this no matter what you're screwed. But so then he goes into the battle, and things aren't going well. It's a complete clusterfuck. Everyone basically dies. Yeah. Except for even Tom Cruise dies. That's not a spoiler. It's the concept of the movie.
Yeah. Live, die, repeat.
Live, die, repeat. The point is, right before he dies, he runs into what's called an alpha.
We should probably also explain the aliens.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, they're being invaded by aliens that they've dubbed mimics because they either imitate humans or, to quote, imitate humans or anticipate their actions perfectly.
So basically, they are mutant Pac-Man ghosts. And
Sure.
that would make the alpha like Pinky. Or whatever the hell they're called. Blinky or
Yeah.
Winky. I don't know.
Basically, no. Basically, these things are Mario Party on hard.
There you go. That's a better comparison. I still kind of like Pac-Man Ghost, though. But maybe that's just because I'm feeling nostalgic.
But yeah, so basically at one point, when he's on the battlefield, he sees... These things are like... They kind of look like Parallax without the face.
No, we don't talk about that movie.
Sorry, okay, they look like the octopus that jumped onto Jonah Hill's face.
There you go. I can live with that. But we don't talk about the Green Lantern movie. I just released a whole 10-minute video why Green Lantern is awesome, and that movie was never a part of it.
I know. So Green Lantern's still awesome because therefore it's not part of it.
Yeah, I know. That's what
They just happen to be conveniently named the same thing.
There you go. It's like the first Wolverine movie. No, it didn't happen. We don't talk about it. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, they didn't even retcon it. They just flat out ignored it. I was like, yeah.
I think they actually showed
digress.
one clip from Wolverine Origins. It's very brief. It's like 5 seconds, but it's there.
Yeah, but
anyway.
we digress.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah, there's an alpha, which is basically like something that kind of controls all like the baser mimics. Tax Cruise, he blows it up with C4, and while killing himself, he also infuses the alpha's blood with him, which
I don't know how that works, but it's one that's okay. I'll go along with it. Yeah. One thing about this movie. I was actually kind of disappointed they explained why the time travel happened. Like, well, going back to Groundhog Day, which basically invented this whole subgenre of movies.
Yeah.
It's like I was actually disappointed they never bothered explaining why Bill Murray went back in time over and over again, and I was perfectly okay with that. Like,
well, admittedly, for this movie,
it was critical to the plot.
Yeah,
but
like,
at the time,
that was the Yeah, I'd say that's a big difference here. Is that Groundhog Day, there wasn't a point, or like there was no need to explain it. Like you,
like yeah, we don't owe you anything.
Yeah, but here it is. It's kind of essential.
Yeah, I mean, this point it was necessary, so I understand why. At the same time, but I didn't know that at the time, so I was like, oh, that's too bad. I thought they just weren't gonna say like, hey, we don't owe you shit.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna do this, and you're gonna go along with it, and we're gonna make money. So I actually would. I would have liked some more mystery, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But maybe that's just me projecting what I want to be this movie. Kind of like Fault in Our Stars, but that's a whole other thing.
But anyway, so suddenly he wakes up at the point where he was
like
arrested,
or wakes up after being arrested.
Yeah.
Which, how does that work? By the way, that was especially towards the end that got confusing. It was like, when is it just a random point in time, or?
Well, basically, it was, I think, from his last moment of consciousness, or like from the earliest moment of consciousness, before getting blacked out, I guess, or after getting blacked out.
Well, wouldn't that mean?
Because you have no idea how long he's been unconscious for, and they make it assume that, like, because they're basically just repeating the same day, so it's kind of like the same thing with Bill Murray. Like, once again,
Well, presumably he's reliving the same 2 days over and over again, so presumably he has to sleep in between that at some point, doesn't he?
Was it 2 days?
Well, because, I'm assuming it's 2 days, because there's day, night, and the next morning is on the beach, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
But then again...
It's one of those things, I guess, try not to think too hard about it, you're just gonna hurt yourself.
Although, admittedly, the director admitted this is more about being a video game. Like, it's all about... They're trying to mimic that whole... you die, restart from the checkpoint thing. And that's what this whole thing, and which the director will flat out state, that was kind of the point.
Tom Cruise at no points makes an ice sculptor in this movie. This movie sucks.
Needs more chainsaws.
Everything needs more chainsaws or a 50-foot lightning penis sword. That would have made this movie a lot better. Yes, I'm gonna milk that joke into the ground. Alright.
Oh, God! Oh, that's a terrible image!
You went there, sicko. Oh. I did not even intend for that.
Oh, God. I know you didn't. That's what makes it worse.
What is wrong with you?
Sorry, just...
Baby, how would you feel? No, how would you think I not felt that? Scrubs reference, I don't know how many people got that. But if you got that joke, let me comment. Yeah. Anyway. After that, like, I will give it this credit for this, is that same thing with Groundhog Day, I think it did do the most it possibly could have with the scenario and went with. Like, that's one thing I thought what made Groundhog Day brilliant, was the fact that they literally explored every aspect of that scenario they possibly could have. And the same kind of thing goes with this thing, where you see him kind of train, or how he tries to do differently, or how he knows everything about everyone after a certain point.
And now, even though each time he does it, there's always that one thing afterwards that just messes you up. Like, the best way to describe this is, if anyone's ever played Demon Souls or Dark Souls...
Oh, God. I can't get myself to play because I don't know if I can handle that level of frustration.
But it is just like that. It's like one of those things where, like, you have to go trial and error to learn to do, like, the exact move you need to do at the exact moment.
Pretty much. I was like, everyone's played that game, like, okay, I'm gonna play, okay, I'm dead.
I want to say it's kind of like Doug. I'm dead? But I didn't even start the game yet!
Which one was this one?
It's an episode where Doug basically gets, like, some, space sim game, or space airship game, but...
I was so long ago, I don't remember that one.
It's basically just like that. But anyway, so... At one point, when he rescues Rita... What's her name?
I don't remember.
Well, basically, there's someone that's dubbed the Full Metal Bitch, who basically...
For kids!
Hey, I'm just quoting. But anyway, she's basically known for having been a rookie and, like, suddenly wiping out, like, all these mimics in one day. That sounds like a certain someone who's going...
Yeah, like, 'cause the whole thing is, like, she's supposed to, like, the poster child for the war at this point, because she's worn the suit that can supposedly turn you into a warrior in a single day, and the only reason they believe that is because she's had the same thing Tom Cruise has and did the same fight over and over again. That's the only reason why she's a badass. But eventually she loses the power, because apparently she had the blood transfusion. That's a big no-no with time power, apparently. I don't know.
Well, it kind of makes sense. Like, it's...
Well, I don't know how it gets infused in the blood in the first place. I don't really know how that works either. So it's one of those things I'm trying not to think too much about because it's going to ruin the whole story.
The way it happened, it looked very acidic, the way it melded with him in the beginning.
Yeah, it looked like it was just burning him away, though. It didn't look like it was bonding.
Well, it's because he blew himself up with a C4, so it's easy to get into open wounds.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, wait, wasn't like facing front, though, so it was floating forward?
You don't understand C4. Those things still have blast back.
Point. See,
yeah.
Clearly, I am not a military man, nor do I ever plan to be. Even though I do have a lot of military friends, so they have taught me a few things. But that's a whole nother topic. Don't fuck with me.
So yeah, now, the more you know.
But yeah, it's like, so he goes through like a particular part. He starts training with what's her face. She has to go back and explain the same thing over and over again to the point where it's like, okay.
Thankfully, they decide to just skip all that.
No, thank God. No, it's like it's well paced for the most part.
Yeah. And here's the other thing that shocked me. This movie was really funny.
There is a lot of good jokes, and because of course every time something go wrong, it's like, okay, start over, bang.
Yeah. The quote-unquote reset button.
The reset button. They just kept shooting him or killing him or some way over and over and over again. Every time, basically, he would fuck up.
Yeah. It was just, he would die in some of the most horrible ways, or maybe it's always just little things, like, where he's mid-swear before he, like, wakes up, like, it's always...
Mother!
Holy...
And, of course, it's a PG-13 movie, so you get one F word. That's usually how it works.
I guess I got 2.
Did you get 2? The most I've seen is 1, like, in a PG-13 movie so far.
I've seen 3.
Really? Which one?
Ready to Rumble.
Oh. How long ago was that, though?
99? No, 97?
They may have changed the regulations since then. But, anyway. But no, and it's like, it's entertaining. The action's good. It's well shot. The dirt can get annoying sometimes.
The what?
The dirt. You know, like all the dirt's flying at the camera and all the sand. It makes it really hard to see where the hell the mimics are.
Yeah.
But the whole point is they're trying to find what's called the Omega, which is like the big alien...
Basically, it's a central hub that
looks like a brain.
Yeah.
That got put. There's a bunch of Bruce Gross.
Long story short, this is the thing that basically controls the resets.
Yeah, because it controls time travel. Why? Don't bother asking. Yeah. Just go along with it. Either way, that's when they kill that. It's basically Star Wars Episode 1 syndrome, where all the other ones die, which always seems like a huge design flaw whenever those things come up.
Which admittedly also did lead to my main complaint, but I'll get to that later. So yeah, the problem is that eventually this thing will, kind of lock on to you. In which case you'll start getting visions of where the thing's supposed to be.
But of course, supposedly, but it's a trap.
Yeah.
And of course it's all set up, and they're just trying to get the blood out of his system, so that way he can rejoin get all the parts back, I guess, is for lack of better phrasing.
Yeah, because they actually do try to bleed him out to, like, get the blood out of him.
Yeah, they don't try to kill him, they just try to bleed him out. But of course that doesn't work.
Well, after they do that, they'll kill him, because if they...
Well, yeah.
If they kill him without bleeding him out...
That starts over, no point.
Yeah, retry from checkpoint.
Pretty much. But it's like, overall, it is an entertaining shoot-'em-up movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all there is to it.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is good, for being Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
But
somebody discussed my friend, the thing that was great is that for once he didn't start off the hero. He actually had to earn that right.
Yeah, like he was a pretty big douche when he starts up. And I was fine with that. Like, his character progression was good. I thought that. The other side characters could have used a bit more than a little bit more development. And
although admittedly it's mostly like they're not the focus though. It's like it's between him and Rita.
Yeah,
and I thought they did a pretty good job, developing the characters at a pretty good pace. And
yeah, the two main leads are pretty good.
And there's something that was kind of like there's something a little tragic about it. It's like the fact that like he knows everything about her, yet every time she just
blocks him out. Yeah,
yeah, it's like
maybe I guess again kind of like weird shoot 'em up. Groundhog Day, basically kind of the same plot. When you think about it.
It is, which they've basically admitted, with the source material.
You have to. It's like you can't do that and not admit that you're basically ripping off Groundhog Day.
Yeah, like he even had like the same kind of like aloofness at some point where he just like he didn't care anymore, and like he just wanted the thing to end.
Yeah, and keep in mind that Groundhog Day is one of my favorite Bill Murray movies, so it's like I know that one film pretty well.
Yeah, and it's also just kind of interesting like how. They don't even explicitly show all the development like as it happens. Like some of the stuff was
the way it should have been,
and some of the stuff they show like aftermath, like was when he started. It's like, oh, it's like the little things, and then she realizes.
Yeah, I thought that was clever. I thought that was cleverly done. Like they after a while they finally get off the beach after like 500 tries.
Yeah,
and they go into this little abandoned barn thing, and then he says like, hey, we don't have to get in this helicopter that's right outside. We can do this, we can do that, we can do that. And she keeps insisting, no, we're going into the helicopter. But then she started realizing after he conveniently finds the coffee, knows how many sugar she wants, she goes, how many times have we been here? I thought that was kind of a clever misdirect, because they have not done that up to this point. So again, that was clever. Yeah. And it's always nice. I also like the part where after they get the device from Mad-Eye Moody, go see the movie.
Yeah.
But because so what happens now? It's like, I don't know. I haven't done this one before.
Yeah. I've never gotten this far before.
Yeah, so that was kind of funny. And I'm kind of glad that Mad-Eye Moody kind of turned on him, because it would have been too convenient otherwise.
Yeah, well, and it's pretty much set up that he would have done that given what happens earlier in the movie.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Yeah. I just love it's like, and of course they go, it's a trap, bang, just go to the next day, you hold them, they're in the middle of a car chase.
And it's like, it works well. Like, the pacing's good, everything that happens in the movie makes logical sense. Well, I mean, aside from the whole time travel thing, which is... Time travel's always so tricky to write because it gets so convoluted so fast.
Thankfully, they just focused on the main rules.
Yeah, so it's one of those things you try not to think. It's like, I think Looper actually made fun of that. You remember seeing when they're in the diner and he goes, you know what, stop thinking about it so hard and enjoy the damn ride.
Yeah.
That's basically what it says. Paraphrasing, obviously.
Oh, yeah, it's like, I could spend 2 days to you to explain everything, all the intricacies about it, and you'd still wouldn't understand 1% of it.
Yeah, so it's like, let's just move on, damn it. Yeah. That's kind of what the movie does. Like, we're not going to waste all of our time doing this. Yeah. Just go with it. And I'm like, sure, you know what? That's acceptable terms to me. So it's like, other than that, like, like I said, it is consistently entertaining. It kind of drags along a little bit towards the middle, but overall, like, that's my one complaint about the movie, really, is that it is too long.
I didn't really feel it was that, it was too long.
I don't know. I felt like they could have cut some stuff out.
Obviously, yeah, but, like, thankfully for me, like, those moments were just so short, like, I didn't care, because, like, it was just so damn entertaining when those moments came.
True.
Also, Bill Paxton.
Which one was Bill Paxton?
Farrell, the sergeant.
Oh, yeah. He was funny. He owned it.
Bill Paxton plays such a great douche.
He's the one that leads him to J Squad, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right. But it retains the same speech over and over again. Yeah. Like, every time, like, Tom Cruise kind of fucks them more and more, and his reactions are always great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, what I find funny is just like how like nonchalant he is about everything. Yet
You remember that part where Tom Cruise gets run over?
Oh, why'd you go and do that?
Okay, so what happens is Tom Cruise trying to find a way to the
to
Rita because he needs her help to get training and figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And there's a part where like he's kind of figuring out every time he dies, he figures out a new method to try it out. So he sets up his drill where in the middle of the running thing, he says something to the officer and they force him to do push-ups. So he starts doing push-ups and then everyone starts doing push-ups. Yeah. In the middle of that distraction, a truck drives by, he tries to roll over it and like grab it. But the first time he misses...
No, he just tries to roll past
it. And the first time he misses and gets run over. And Bill Paxton looks over like, why the hell did you go and do that? Or something like that.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. There's a lot of funny moments.
Yeah,
it is surprising. It's surprisingly well written, given that it's supposed to be. It's kind of a dumb summer blockbuster movie.
It was actually fairly smart, I'd say, given a lot.
Like
of
I
stuff.
said, it's perceived like generally as a dumb blockbuster movie.
Yeah, but it was actually much more intelligent than I think either of us expected.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I agree. So what was your big problem with it then?
The ending felt like a cop-out.
Yeah, I would agree on that. Basically, I kind of saw it coming though. That's the problem I got.
It's one of those things like I think I knew something like that should have happened, but it's like I didn't want it to happen just because like there was so much power in it. Just like kind of
everyone dies basically.
Yeah,
it's a massive spoiler, obviously.
Yeah,
but you don't expect that at this point. But anyway.
Yeah, so yeah, without further spoilers, I'll give you about 5 seconds to pause. Basically, when he gets to the Omega, he blows it up. You think everything's said and done. However, the blood seeps to him and basically clings to him. Mm-hmm. And basically, time resets to the point where right before he sees the captain, or Brendan Gleeson's. I can't remember what the rank was. I want to say it was a captain, but right before he meets Brendan Gleeson's character.
Is that what happened? Like, is that the point he jumped back to? Because I was confused where exactly he jumped back to.
Yeah. Because remember the opening with the helicopter ride?
No, I don't remember that. I forgot about that scene going into it. That's why it was confusing for me. I remember the part where he talks to the what's his name, but I forgot the very intro scene.
Okay, so does the movie make much more sense now?
It makes a little more sense. I'm still confused why he jumped to that point.
I'm not sure. My guess that he melded with the Omega. That thing sends him further back. Once again, I don't know why that specific point, which I will agree was also
like that. That's always like, well, wait a minute. Then what if I just? But I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe in his subconscious, he wanted to go back. Like I said,
It's more of an explanation than what we were given. So fuck it, sure, why not?
But of course, once again, this could be another situation of like Groundhog Day. Does it really matter?
Yeah, so it's like... But
at the same time, it does bug you.
Problem is, like, in this one, they kind of tried to explain it, though, which is why it was smart in Groundhog Day that they didn't explain it, so that we don't start nitpicking the explanation.
Yeah.
And that's again, I thought was a brilliant decision, because if you look at the original script, there actually is an explanation for what happens in Groundhog Day. It's just really stupid.
Yeah.
So they basically like, no, screw that. We're just not going to tell you. We don't owe you shit.
Yeah.
And I love that approach to it. I thought that was great.
But, so yeah. And so what happens is also because time is relative to the mimics, at least with the Omega, because the Omega's dead, instead of a battle going on, they retreat from their original place.
What do you mean?
Okay, because when he enters in, he's watching a news report was saying the mimics have started their retreat from France, which is where the battle takes place throughout, the entire movie.
Yeah.
And why? Because they killed the mimic. Time is I'm not sure. Supposedly time's supposed to be kind of relative to them, but at least for the Omega. But because the Omega is dead, or at least the Omega knows what's going to happen. They have to haul ass and get out.
See, that's where it gets confusing, though.
Yeah,
because like the Omega should stay dead because you can't.
Well, I think it did stay dead. So
yeah, so that means all the alphas would be dead too, since it's directly connected.
Yeah.
And whatever's left, it kind of just scatter, or if they wouldn't die already.
That's what happened though. Basically, the rest just scattered.
Yeah.
Although a part of me, I'm not sure. That's the explanation I was kind of getting to with a friend. I personally thought that, the whole deal was. I thought it was like a false thing to begin with. Like I couldn't remember.
Like a false thing?
Like they're doing a false retreat. Because I thought what happened was they were doing a false retreat since in the beginning.
Oh, sequel bait?
No, remember the beginning, like, they're going after, it's like, we got them on the run after we kick their butts, and then they go into a slaughterhouse.
Oh, so you thought it was going to be that same kind of thing.
But now Tom Cruise obviously knows what the hell's going to go on. Now that he's a major, he can actually properly lead the people.
Maybe. I don't know. At the same time, that basically would have just been a shameless setup for a sequel. Which would have been kind of... There's really not much other places you can go with the story at this point. They they pretty much did everything you can really do with it. So there's really not much point for a sequel. Not that's going to stop them anyway if this does well. Did it do well? It got in third place, didn't it?
It made... like, it made pretty decent money. It made around $30 million.
That's not too bad.
They said it was better than they expected, but not the best Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah, man. Well, come on, you compare that with like A Few Good Men or any other... or Mission Impossible.
I mean, in terms of finances.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Oh, yeah, Mission Impossible, definitely.
Yeah. But, say what you will about Tom Cruise.
So, yeah,
he's
it's
a crazy little insane bastard.
So, yeah, it's like... And that is why, like, I will say, as much as I like this movie, obviously it's not perfect, the ending kind of unravels a few things.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of thing. It's a movie where you go into it, have popcorn, don't think about too much, and you'll be fine. Like, it's a perfectly suitable blockbuster movie. Yeah. It's smarter than it has a right to be.
Yeah, but sometimes it gets a bit too smart for its own good.
Yeah, and it takes advantage of the concept it's given. That's one thing I liked about it. It takes full advantage of the concept it's in. Even though we have seen it before, we haven't seen it like this. So that does make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
So in that respect, that's why I liked it. It wasn't just a dumb shoot 'em up summer blockbuster, which is kind of what everyone was expecting, myself included. So that's about all I really have to say about it.
I'll add a little side note. We saw this separately, and I actually saw it in 3D.
How was it in 3D?
Surprisingly well done.
Really?
They took advantage of their playing field.
No shit, really?
Yeah, because I mean, they obviously you see these battlefields, a lot of deep space, but a lot of shit or stuff that pops out at you. And I mean, they took full advantage of it to basically kind of get you into the chaos.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure it was converted, but it was.
The conversion's getting better in a lot of movies, I think.
They didn't. Yeah, admittedly, it's like conversion always had the potential. It's just it got half-assed when it first happened.
Yeah, in a lot of movies, I remember Thor looked terrible in 3D.
I thought it was all right.
Or maybe it was just the theater I was in. Either way, but speaking of awesome 3D, How to Train Your Dragon 2 just came out. I am so excited.
Oh yeah,
because I've mentioned on the show before, I saw the first How to Train Your Dragon in 3D, and that was an amazing experience. Because that was the only movie I've seen in 3D that's ever given me vertigo. So I was like, I can't wait to go see this movie and see it. This movie, the only movie I've seen. What do you keep looking at? Is someone gonna murder us?
No, it's looking at between the camera and you.
Oh, okay. Well, you look like you're looking out the back seat there. So I was like, did my mating call work? Meh. 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 I think we're done.
So, in conclusion, watch this movie. The 3D is a good little bonus, despite it being converted.
That's where you sound grand.
Me.
Oh,
we're done with this. But seriously,
way to ruin it with Droopy Dog. Totally kill the momentum.
That was the entire point.
Such a buzzkill. Yeah. Just finish your thought. Finish your thought. We'll go home.
What's that? We finally hit the end of this game. Are
you ever gonna finish your damn thought?
No, it's just like this damn movie. No, I'm kidding.
We actually like this movie. What are you talking about? Fault in Our Stars.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of How a Million Ways to Die in the West. But yeah, just very good, very entertaining, just great action, funny as hell. A lot smarter than I expected, even if it kind of gets a little confusing there in the end. Admittedly, I have to either rewatch this or read up more on it, but I'm sure there's logic somewhere.
I'm not really count on it, but
yeah. But yeah, just watch this movie.
What he said. See you with How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Can't wait.
What's this? What's this? Movie I want to see. What's this? Simply cannot be. I've been working on it. I'm writing it.
Yeah.
Hey, bye.
Good night.